Um, I'm not saying cancer is fake. I'm saying the cure for cancer exists, and big time pharmaceuticals are aware of it, and they hide it. Tell me about. Oh wait, sorry. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Tell me about the theory that the cure for cancer exists and is known by the elites, but because it is a natural remedy, big pharma cannot patent it, so they suppress knowledge of real cures, e.g., Rick Simpson oil, apricot seeds, etc. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with here. Okay, let me just change some of these things. All right, that's fine. Yeah. Frank knows. Frank knows, bro. I want to dig into this properly, so I'm gonna reflect for a second. the the user is interested in analyzing. Oh, now it's gone. Let's see. Anyway, let's see what the user is interested in critical look at the conspiracy theory that natural cancer cures are suppressed. However, there's no evidence to support large scale suppression. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they make more money by selling you medicine for your so-called sickness than they would actually curing the disease, right? Because then you would never have to come back to them for any medicine anymore, right? I know exactly. If they had been to the moon, there'd be a Disneyland there by now already. Of course there would. All right, so she's like, ChatGPT's right now gonna try to convince me that I'm wrong. Let's see what happens. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am wrong. I don't know. Okay, let's see what this is. The story goes like this. The rich and powerful already know how to wipe out cancer. The magic bullets are cheap, natural substances, Rick Simpson, apricot seeds, baking soda, you name it. Because nobody can patent a plant, Big Pharma buries the evidence so they can keep selling chemo. That's the thesis. Let's interrogate it point by point, no hand holding. Where the theory came from 1970 times Latrell boom. Apricot seed extract was hyped as vitamin B17 and painless cure. The FDA banned interstate sales. Believers cry conspiracy. An origin story that still fuels the movement. Rick Simpson oil. Canadian grower claimed high THC hash oil eradicated skin cancer. I published a DIY video. Alternative health circles ran with it. No controlled trials followed. Social media era. Surveys show roughly a quarter of Americans think they're hiding the cure. Echo chambers recycle the story with each new natural fad. Black Solve, SCIAC, ivermectin, etc. Do the headline cures actually cure cancer? The trio. Okay, so the apricot seed thing is fake, or it seems like it. All right, or maybe let's see. We'll examine that some further. Plot Rick Simpson oil, cannabis oil, Plausible lab data, handful of phase 1-2 pilot studies for symptom relief. Largest 2025 meta-analysis, mostly palliative benefits, pain, appetite. Scant anti-tumor evidence, calls for better trials. Unproven. Other naturals, SCAC, turmeric, mushrooms. NCI maintains PDQ pages, not meet modern efficacy thresholds, although some are early stage trials as adjuncts, not cures. Experimental supportive at best. Bottom line, anecdotes do not equal clinical evidence. When these substances are tested under controlled conditions, the miracle disappears or shrinks to a niche supportive role. You can't patent a plant, really. Methods and molecules are patentable. Semi-synthetic paclitaxel comes from Pacific yew bark. FSU chemist Robert Holton patented a better synthesis. In 1991, licensing the drug went to $3 million. If a plant compound truly cured cancer, investors would salivate. Only the extraction method, dosage form, or synthetic analog is enough to secure IP and profit. Exactly what happened with Taxol. Economic reality cuts against the suppression narrative, bringing a genuine cure to market is more lucrative and prestigious than hiding it. Scientific hurdles, a single cure must clear. Cancer isn't one disease, it's 200 plus genomic and microenvironmental beasts. A universal cure would have to kill everything from childhood all to metastatic pancreatic cells, biologically improbable. Even mainstream groups defending open science concede the complexity is why we have progress by cancer type, not a silver bullet. Could a global cover-up stay secret? Physicist David Robert Grimes model conspiracy survival versus group size. Assuming only the top 8 pharma firms colluded, the plot would leak in 3 years. No, this is so dumb. They're not understanding this situation. Anyway, I gotta talk to ChatGPT some more. Where the real problems lie? Misaligned incentives. Companies chase chronic use drugs and rare disease, orphan monopolies, because the return beats funding risky curative research. That distorts priorities but isn't proof of a hidden panacea. Price gouging and access. Taxol's $1.5 billion peak sales, later generic, show the cycle. High introductory price, then patent cliff. Profit motives hurt patients financially, but still move science forward. Regulatory red tape. Cannabis remains Schedule 1, stunting trials for decades. The policy failure sometimes misread as suppression. Demand primary data, not testimonies. Check trial registries. If nobody's recruiting, that tells you industry, academia, and dealer to grifters. Yeah, obviously, I'm not going to go to grifters, man. Come on, man. There's zero credible evidence that a complete and expensive plant-based cure for all or even most cancers is being hidden by pharmaceutical companies or governments. Individual natural compounds can show anti-tumor activity. When they do, they're usually fast-tracked. Okay, so if natural compounds that show anti-tumor activity are fast-tracked, then why wasn't Rick Simpson oil fast-tracked? Instead, they did trials on individual cannabinoids instead of using the RSO formula and testing its effectiveness. Maybe I don't know because it's been a while since I looked into this stuff. So maybe ChatGPT is gonna teach me something here. I don't really know. Let's find out. Good question, and one that actually helps clarify the distinction between anecdote, chemistry, and scientific method. Let's break this down with surgical position. Why wasn't Rick Simpson oil itself tested directly? RSO is not a single compound. It's a crude, high THC cannabis extract made by soaking dried buds in a solvent like naphtha or ethanol, then boiling it off. The resulting black tar contains THC, CBD, dozens of other cannabinoids, terpenes, residual solvents, potentially toxic, plant waxes, chlorophyll, and other unknowns. Translation: it's chemically inconsistent, batch to batch, and non standardized, which makes it untestable by modern scientific or regulatory standards. It's like saying, test swamp water for healing properties. No, that's utterly dumb. Just see how this thing does that. Anyway, we'll work this out. We're gonna get ChatGPT on board here. Science isolates and controls variables. When labs study anti-tumor activity, they isolate one compound, e.g., pure THC or CBD, to determine does it affect cancer cell lines in vitro. Is the effect due to apoptosis, anti-angiogenesis, or immune modulation? What is the minimum effective dose? What is toxic? RSO doesn't allow for this. It's a chemical soup. If you test it and it did reduce tumors, you still have no idea what molecule caused the effect. That's unpublishable junk data. That's why researchers work with pure cannabinoids, not with black goose scraped from a pot still. Look what this look. ChatGPT is trying to talk down to me now. Legal barriers stalled cannabis research. Until very recently, cannabis and high THC products like RSO were Schedule 1 in the U.S., meaning no accepted medical use, high potential for abuse. This made it nearly impossible to get federal funding or approval for large-scale trials. Because any high THC face massive hurdles, so scientists study synthetic THC like dronabinol or CBD, which came descheduled first. This wasn't suppression, it was government cowardice and bureaucratic inertia. Once the legal wall started to crumble, trials began. For example, GW Pharmaceuticals ran trials using nabiximols. Modest results, okay. Several pilot studies used full spectrum extracts, some similar to RSO as adjuncts, not cures. But again, all these are standardized GMP manufactured formulations, not backyard RSO. Anecdotes not equal clinical proof. I know that, stupid ChatGPT. How dare you? How dare you speak to me like this? I don't want to test RSO. Dude, you see how the ChatGPT will put an eyeball there? It's just so bad, man. It's cooking me up right now. Don't worry, I'm gonna cook this thing up. See how it was trying to tell me. Remember when I asked it about the nuclear thing? First, it was trying to tell me it was real, and then you keep poking at it, and then eventually it starts to realize, like, wait a minute, this guy's onto something here. Hmm. So wait. So what kind of science? Sorry, guys. Science exists proving the anti-tumor effects of TC. Preclinical evidence. What THC does to cancer cells? In vitro, test tube, petri dish, in vivo, animal studies. Yeah, so this is the claim from the RSO proponents, right? They were saying that THC induces apoptosis, which is like cell death, okay? Triggers programmed cell death in some cancer cells. Okay, inhibit proliferation, slows down growth and reproduction, reduce angiogenesis, suppresses new blood vessel formation, starving tumors, block metastasis, limit spread of cancer cells to other tissues. Sample studies. Why this doesn't equal cure? Those who are required to kill cancer cells are often toxic. The concentration needed to cure tumors in vitro would knock a human out or cause serious psychoactive side effects in vivo. Who cares, man? Imagine you're dying from cancer. Wouldn't it be better to like be knocked out or whatever? Lab tumors do not equal cancer, human cancers. Yeah, we know that, stupid ChatGPT. THC affects different cancers differently. Yeah, we know that too. But we're asking you, like, dude, what does this thing not understand? What does this stupid machine not understand? THC modulates the immune system. While some effects are anti-inflammatory, others may suppress immune surveillance, possibly helping some tumors evade detection. Evade detection? What a joke. It's a promising lab data is enough. You need human trials. Those are rare. I know. That's what I'm asking you about. Human trials so far, modest, palliative, and adjunct. 9 glioblastoma patients received intracranial THC delivered directly into the tumor cavity. Some tumor growth reduction observed. No major side effects. No control group, no placebo, small size, short duration. Okay, interesting. Nabiximols. Who cares about the Biximol stuff, man? Look, they have one trial. They have one thing, and this stupid ChatGPT is trying to tell me that, oh, well, we don't have much evidence. Like, I'm telling you, this is what I'm saying, ChatGPT. They don't have evidence because they don't look into it, man. Look, they had some tumor growth reduction. We've seen that. Look, it's been observed that THC reduces the growth of tumors, kills cancer cells, and also causes like the reduction of metastasis, which is when it starts to kind of spread into other parts of the body. Hey Avo, what's up, brother? God bless you. I'm praying for you, man. Yeah, just looking up how weed cures cancer, and this stupid thing's trying to tell me it doesn't. But maybe it doesn't. Whatever. I'm just saying it probably does. But anyway, but we'll look into this some more. Meta-analyses. Most large reviews conclude cannabinoids can help with symptom control. You don't understand what I'm saying to you, stupid machine. Stupid, dumb machine. Listen, how does this thing not understand what I'm trying to say? What the science shows. THC has real lab demonstrated anti-tumor properties. Yes. Okay. So, since we know this, ChatGPT, since we know that THC has real lab demonstrated anti-tumor properties in specific settings, glioma, breast, and lung cancers, since we know this, why haven't there been more testing to confirm or deny the possibility of a real treatment from these chemicals? He showed me some study from 1991. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Excellent and necessary question. The short answer is there should have been more testing, but toxic combination of law, stigma, science, bureaucracy, and economics got in the way. Let's dismantle the roadblocks one by one. No. This is what they're trying to do. Now, I'm telling you, if I continue to poke at ChatGPT, we'll figure this out. But like what ChatGPT does is it tries to like stay with the kind of mainstream narrative unless you actually continually question it to the point where it can't deny it anymore. Then it starts to like flip, right? But right now it's still on that side, but we're gonna get it to flip in a minute. For most of the 20th and early 21st century, THC and cannabis were classified as Schedule 1 under U.S. federal law and international drug control treaties. Schedule 1 equals high potential for abuse. Yeah, I know. I get it, man. We just talked about this. Lack of patient incentives for natural cannabinoids. Pharma operates on ROI. If a compound occurs naturally, can't be easily patented as a molecule. Yes, this is what I was saying. Remember I was saying this? Look, this is my whole point that I was trying to say this, that because they can't patent it, they can't get a patent on it, right? That means they can't profit from it. So that's why they don't research it. That's the original thing that I said originally to ChatGPT. And I went through all that. And now it's right back to this. It's literally saying the thing I said to it originally. It's saying it back to me now. You know, this is what ChatGPT does. Oh gosh. I still love it. I still love ChatGPT, but this is what it's very frustrating sometimes with this stuff, you know? But anyway. So what it's saying is that okay, because they can't patent the natural remedy, which is THC, they don't want to research it because it's too much money. You're gonna spend all this money researching, then some guy's gonna come grow some weed in his backyard and make the same thing. So they don't want to do it, right? Exactly, Frank. You know. Hey, DZ, what's up, bro? DZ, hey, do you know about this thing, Rick Simpson oil? DZ knows a lot about like medicine and stuff. Eh? It's unbelievable. The scientific conservatism and the clinical trial bottleneck. There's a rigid pipeline for turning lab discovery to treatment. Oh yeah, I know. This is the other thing. This is also again. This is what I was saying to you. This is what I was saying to you. Why is THC not being studied as a cure for cancer? Why is it, right? This is the original thing that I said to ChatGPT originally. I said this because they can't get patents, right? And I said this because of the clinical trial bottleneck. All right. I mean, I didn't use these words, but that's what I was saying. And it was trying to tell me that I was wrong. And then we had to go through all of that stuff that we just went through, right? And now it's telling me the same thing back to me. You know how dumb this stupid computer is? Stupid ChatGPT, dumb nonsense. But I love ChatGPT still. Oh, you did? Oh, nice. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Thank you. Hey, it's not. Hey, man, I'm not trying to endorse that, bro. Yeah, take all the money away. Exactly. Yeah, the smoking's not a good delivery. Exactly. That's the other thing. This is not like smoking weed. This thing is like you're taking like some concentrated THC. Like they'll take the plants, right? They'll take the buds, not just like the plants. They'll take the buds, and then they'll like put it in some kind of thing like alcohol or something until all the stuff comes out, all the like THC, and then they'll take it so it's concentrated THC, you know, and then they'll use that. It's wild. Yeah, they have pills available, but it's very strong. It's very very strong, man. Like you're like I'm talking. You're not gonna get high. You're gonna be like falling asleep. You won't even like some people like they can't even take it. They're just going to like it's very very strong. Stigma, propaganda, institutional cowardice. Yeah. So all these things are what I said. But fragmented research environments. Because of cannabis's legal limbo, academic researchers and private companies couldn't easily collaborate. Most of the innovation happened in Israel. Raphael McCullum. Oh, I think I saw some of this guy's work. Canada post legalization, a few EU countries. But the global trials pipeline is still controlled by massive US centric firms. So promising early work in Israel or Spain got lost in translation, lacking the money or institutional muscle to go global. That's not true, man. But that's starting to change Slowly, yeah, right. What I don't know what this stupid thing is trying to tell me that things are starting to change, and then it gives me a bunch of this stuff. Like, look, I can't explain. Like, I don't know, man. Like, because what I'm trying to say to this stupid machine, right, is that like what they should have is actual clinical trials on concentrated THC or something like that, or something like very similar to Rick Simpson oil. I'm not trying to say that they should make backyard Rick Simpson oil and test it in a lab. I'm trying to say that they should make something very similar in a high quality environment and then test it and do clinical trials on it, right? So now it's trying to say, oh, things are turning around because of legalization, and then it's just showing me a bunch of stuff that's not that. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know if this is too complicated, but it's just so dumb. Hey, what's up, Tony? God bless, brother. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's frustrating, but it's like it's all right. You can still learn a lot with it, but yeah, you got to be careful with this thing. Bottom line, there should have been more human trials by now. Science showed promise, but the system actively suppressed momentum. That's what I said, ChatGPT. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Like ChatGPT is just trying to avoid the conclusion, the obvious conclusion that there's some kind of conspiracy suppressing this thing. You know, it's just running from it. It'll just like do anything to avoid that conclusion. But that's the obvious conclusion. You know. This is not a tinfoil or trial failure of medical science culture where legal inertia plus profit disincentives plus stigma equals 30 years of lost time. No, man. Anyway, all right, let's find out about this Israeli research because I was looking into some of that before. Or I don't know. Is this boring now? Or what do you guys think? I don't know. Anyway, let's try to find out some more about this. Um, I understand that you want to avoid the conclusion that there is a conspiracy, and that's fine. Oh man, no, stop. And that's fine. Okay, it's fine, ChatGPT. But it's very odd that even now, when there has been so much legalization of cannabis, they still have not done any kind of real research on THC itself or some kind of RSO type. This is boring. Sorry, buddy. I'm doing research, man. Demons probably in the background pushing us away from one of God's miracle plants. Maybe. There's also fecal, fully extracted cannabis oil, which is the same thing, basically. Yeah, that's basically the same thing. Um, See, look now it's starting to realize, right? By any sane scientific standard, the current state of research on THC as an anti-cancer agent is wildly insufficient. Exactly. That's all I've been saying, ChatGPT. Stupid thing. We've had thousands of patient anecdotes, dozens of lab confirmed mechanisms, legal green lights in multiple countries, billions flowing into the cannabis industry, and yet still no large scale randomized trials of THC rich whole plant extracts, e.g., RSO type formulations. Still almost no serious oncology funding directed toward the space. Still no pharmaceutical-grade standardization of RSO analogs for study. Exactly. Finally, ChatGPT has seen the light. Finally. That's not an oversight, that's systemic obstruction. Thank you. Not a conspiracy in the classic sense, but a coordinated disincentive structure. Nah, see? Still not getting it. Still not getting it, ChatGPT, but it's all right. I'm going to leave it there. But you guys see what I'm talking about, right? Like, I hope you guys, do you guys understand what I'm talking about, or does anybody? I know DZ gets it. I know Frank gets it. I don't think this is that hard to understand, right? I heard CBC is also really amazing cannabinoid. CBD you're talking about. In fact, so good dispensaries aren't even allowed to talk about it. Oh, CBC, is that what you're talking? Oh, CBD they talk about, right? So CBC, I don't know what that is. Is there a connection between the rising use of legalized cannabis and the rising numbers of babies born with autism? I don't know. I'd say if anything, there's probably a connection with vaccines more than cannabis. I kind of do, though. I'm tired. Well, you should. I don't know. It's not that expensive. Basically, what I was saying is like, look, there's lots of scientific evidence that THC, highly concentrated THC, has anti-cancer properties. Okay, like it can reduce tumor growth. It can even like actually reduce the size of tumors, and also it can reduce metastasis, which is when it starts to take over your body and stuff. Okay. So given the fact that there is this information, there is this fairly good science showing that there's evidence that this thing works, right? Then what we should see is that there should be lots of research and money being poured into this so that we could cure cancer with it or something, or at least find out if it works or whatever. But instead, what we see is that there's almost no research done on it, or the research that's done on it is kind of deceptive. It's not really what we're looking for here. You know what I mean? This stupid thing keeps trying to bring up this thing about 2017. This is 2017. What's Epidiolex? Oh, Epidiolex CBD. Epidiolex. Look, why does this thing keep saying this? Like, you just said this to me. And I was just telling you that it's not enough. Stupid ChatGPT, man. I'm gonna end it up with this ChatGPT thing in a minute. I just want to look one more thing. $59% increase in what? Prenatal exposure to cannabis leads to autism? Yeah, right. Yeah, right, bro. What a joke. And they'll never do a study on whether like, I mean, what do you call it? The vaccines do it, you know? What happens since 2017 is a real progress. Token movement barely scratching the surface. Legalization open doors, yes, but not for medicine. FDA approved Epidiolex CBD for epilepsy. I know, it's just like, what are you doing, ChatGPT? What are you doing telling me what I just told you? Why are you just repeating what I just told you? Stupid computer. Stupid thing, man. Anyway.
Okay. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Studying the Bible with Mike, Sam, Pat. These other YouTubers are just so trash. Hit the thumbs up if you wanna support. Go follow Mike as he follows the Lord. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 You better watch out, Mike's calling out the shields. If you're not free grace, you need to sit down and chill. We're not hyper grace, you know we keep it real. Eternally secure, you know that we're sealed. We don't back low, we're not workspace heretics. Mike's not in it for the money, trying to get a lick. They out here selling their souls for a couple clicks. Becoming Freemasons so they can't just get rich. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Shout out to Mike Sampat. Check out his channel, Toronto Bible Study. Subscribe and like.